Haber seems to be denying the possibility of vivid auditory imagery when he compares it to visual imagery. Seashore was able to measure the intensity of inner music. His rating scale graded the images in terms of no image at all, very faint, faint, fairly vivid, vivid, very vivid, and as vivid as in perception. Probably the most renowned example of music actually heard in a dream is that of Tartini. He was a violinist and composer who lived from 1692 to 1770. In his dream, he bargained for his soul with the devil, who seized his violin and played a sonata of great beauty and tremendous virtuosity. When Tartini awoke, he immediately put onto paper what he could remember of the dream. The music in the dream, that is. The piece he completed was called the Devil's Trill Sonata. Tartini's inner music seems of the fourth type, non-voluntary music unexpectedly flowing into consciousness. Freud referred later to this in similar examples with the words that, quote, what is essential and new in their creations came to them without premeditation and as an almost ready-made whole, unquote. This sounds almost like a reworded definition of the new music non-voluntary type. In our arbitrary numbering system, we are calling it the fourth type. Some dreams seem to distort memories of previous hearings of a given piece of music. The composer Lucas Falk seemed to be alluding to such an occurrence when he wrote of a dream of his where he heard, quote, torrents of baroque notes washed ashore by ocean waves, sucked in again, returning, unquote. This dream inspired his piece called Phorion. When music in a dream seems vague as to type, it might be useful to devise a scale where the dreamer could grade his dream music on the basis of whether it seemed exactly the same piece he had once heard, much the same, between a little and much the same, or not at all the same. Among the composers who refer to dream music are Schubert, Schumann, Roy Harris, Stravinsky, and Beethoven. This dream music of composers is usually of new music, not an accurate memory of music previously heard. John Cage wrote me that though music may sometimes occur in his dreams, he has, quote, not listened in a way to become interested in it, unquote. He added, yes, music sometimes runs through my head without my willing it. This is one of the things that annoys me about music. Cage is in good company because Aristotle complained of the same thing. Music imagined as a result of hypnotism is included in a non-voluntary class of inner music. Thus, a hypnotist inducing a subject to hear new music would fall into type 4, the subject non-voluntarily hearing music not previously composed. The result of hypnosis on the mind of a composer can be spectacular. Rachmaninoff's most famous concerto was written as a result of hypnosis under a Dr. Dahl, who was practicing in Russia at that time. Rachmaninoff dedicated this work to him. The practical possibilities for inner music are richer than one might first think. A.M.'s imaginary visit into the tunnel to obtain his music, Rachmaninoff's experience of hearing music under hypnosis, Theodore Reich's use of inner music in a clinical setting, and Chuck Locke's help in incubating songs are some of the examples of practical use of imaginary music. In summary, an examination of the documentation of imagined or inner music reveals that it occurs both voluntarily and on a non-voluntary basis, that sometimes the music imagined comes from memories of previously heard music and appears in a stream of consciousness as the piece recalled. Music also occurs mentally in the form of newly imagined music, which is not music already existing. This can happen spontaneously or as a type of mental improvisation. This breakdown seems to provide a logical theory of 4 distinct types of imagined music, which in the briefest form might be labeled 1 voluntary old, 2 voluntary new, 3 non-voluntary old, and 4 non-voluntary new. The term old here refers to music which can be traced to a part or all of a previously existent work of music. New refers to a unique structuring which cannot be traced to any existent work of music. While it seems obvious that these designations allow room for some argument, they provide a theoretical basis for a typology of music occurring mentally while not acoustically heard. Consideration of visualization accompanying inner or acoustically heard music is a subject for further consideration. Other paper. The term voluntary and non-voluntary, while giving some room for argument, make for a working separating of types and suggests possibilities of practical applications for theory or theoretical basis of inner music.
Thank you.